Well, there's a huge thing where people
known.
don't argue that you weren't addicted to it.
Right.
Like with Kratom, people go, "No, you weren't.
Yeah.
It's fine." I'm like, I didn't. Why would I make it up?
Yeah.
This was the biggest one for me because skateboarding is a way of reading life. When I skate, I don't look where I'm going. I look at everything. And when I'm high, this is my peripherals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I showed up at the ramp completely sober, I saw that, and I also could feel that my back foot was slowly slipping off the grip tape. And I remember going, did you just register that your foot was slowly slipping off the back of the board? Because old high Jason is like, I'm pretty sure I'll make it. And sometimes I would make it, and sometimes I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you can see more, you can feel more, you are better at skateboarding when you're not high. So how does that not apply to every other thing that you do in your life? That's just the facts.
Well, there's something about being a talented human that no matter what you do to get yourself fucked up, you still read as a talented human, but you don't realize what you're missing by being fucked up all the time.
Right.
When you do things better than other people, and I can relate with that significantly, because for my entire addiction through my whole life, never was I not functional. Never did I not hold a full-time job. I've had my own business for a decade. I work with dogs. We can talk about that if needs be. But like, people wouldn't have assumed that. To look back on it, I find it insane that they didn't realize how kind of gross I had become and what I looked like and how pale and skinny I had gotten. But any good junkie is also good at lying and pretending that something else is going on. And yeah, it is... I was always able to function and get my shit done, but to the degree that I could have, probably not.
So once you came out of the withdrawal, let's talk about where your life has gone from then to now.
Well, I would like to do that, but I want to talk about what withdrawals were like, because it's something that I've been talking about for a long time, and I think it's really important that people know about it. And so leading up to going through white-knuckling withdrawals with nothing to help, which... I went on a 2-week-long vacation. My ex and I had decided, let's go on a 2-week vacation. She knew what was going on, and we went down to Utah for 2 weeks. And she knew what was going on. I didn't know how severe it was going to be, and I told her, I'm like, listen, probably going to be a few rough days. Probably the first few days. We're not going to be doing much hiking. It was in Kanab, Utah, and just a beautiful, beautiful place. I had weaned and tapered leading up to then, like, looking like that meme of Charlie from Sunny in Philadelphia down in the mailroom with the fucking red strings going. I had been scrawling my tapering schedule on my mirror every day just to try to wean down to make going cold turkey tolerable. And so the first day we were there, I tried to go on a hike. I intentionally left all remaining, I was using Feel Free and then MIT 45, which is also an extreme kratom concentrate to kind of, I could use it in a plastic syringe just to be fully aware how much I'm taking in to a dropper, not a needle, just to know what I was doing or how much I was taking into my body. But I left it in the car, walked 3 hours away from the car, and 3 hours was about how long it took for me to enter withdrawals, and now I'm 3 hours away from the car, absolutely fucked. Going into withdrawals, can't fucking walk, can't speak, can't do anything, and now I have to walk miles back to the car, and that took... I honestly didn't think I was even going to survive that, and so made it back to the car, went to where we were going, and rather than 3 days, like I imagine it would be, was every single day of that 2-week-long vacation, where no sleep whatsoever, and maybe there were like 10-15 minutes here and there where I would fall asleep a little bit, but there is a symptom, and I'd be interested in your take on this, called akathisia, which is common with benzodiazepine withdrawal, which is like having restless leg syndrome, where your foot being asleep, the pins and needles through your entire body. Yeah. And so that would only manifest if I laid horizontally. So if I stayed upright, that particular symptom would not manifest. But as soon as I laid down, try to relax, try to take some strain off the body, maybe 5 minutes in, your foot starts doing that. It creeps up the foot, the leg, it goes to the other one. It got to the point where I was horse kicking in my bed, completely outside of my control, so hard that I really thought I was going to break my back from involuntary spasming. And that went on, that particular symptom went on for 4 or 5 days, where any horizontal laying was the most miserable, like any severe junkie type withdrawal. Like Like, I felt like my insides were trying to get onto the outside, couldn't think, head bobbing back and forth, couldn't eat, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. And by day 9, which happened to be my 39th birthday, I was with somebody that cares for me, that I care for, and she loves to hike. And so each day she wanted to be with me to help me through this process. But my take was like, that's kind of you to want to do that. You got to get out of this house. It doesn't make anything better for you to be here, although I appreciate it. I think it's going to be hard on you to continuously watch someone you care about in this state. And she didn't do it to the degree that I felt she ought have. And on day 9, which happened to be, again, my 39th birthday, I found a way that I could lean into a corner with my yoga mat on the ground and like feel like I could get a little bit of rest at a 45. And at 6 a.m, she came out of her room and I was leaning up against the wall and the mat slipped out from under me and I fucking crumpled to the ground. And for her, she's like, that's it. That's it. I can't watch you do this. I cannot keep, like, you have to go to a hospital. You have to do something about this. This is not going to be okay. And I pulled her aside and I'm like, listen, I drove down here. If you want to leave, I can get you a flight back. I feel that this, whether it's self-deprecating or not, I feel I earned this experience, and as mortifying and horrible as it was, there was something real fucking spiritual about it. I refer to it like coming face to face with the devil's dick and not losing. I don't know that I won, but maybe we had a stalemate. But to be in that, to be suffering that much for that long in a row, I wanted to earn my way through it. And so we talked about it. I stuck around. I got a vitamin drip from somebody close by. And then on day 11, I got 1,000 might have been 750 milligrams of NAD, if you guys are familiar with it. That changed everything. And so on that 11th day, I found a gal 100 yards from the house who does in-home NAD therapy. And I don't know if it would have worked so well on day 1. I think I needed to get some of this stuff out of the body for it to really start recovering. But on day 11, I took NAD, and how I looked before and after that 2-hour-long IV push was different. And so that night, I slept for about 2 hours. The next night, I probably got 6 hours, and the road to recovery happened. It started from there. It was probably 6 months until I felt like a regular human again. But like, on that stuff, I mean, you get styes in your eyes, liver issues, heart issues, kidney issues, your skin starts fucking sloughing off of your body, it turns gray, and like people get, I have an entire list of symptoms I would like to read at some point, which are common throughout all of this. But yeah, it took me a full 2 weeks of not just withdrawals, but severe and acute, where you can't do anything, you're just a waste of space, and all I could do was just lie there, stand there, rock back and forth, tremble. I did make a couple videos that are available to be seen, whether on my Instagram or YouTube, and I encourage people.
What's your YouTube?
I mean, it's just there's maybe like 3 videos up there. They're on my Instagram, and that's Urbeezy, URBEEZY. That people, because I put the entire 10 or 12 minute videos up there, but also made some short ones that are a little bit more concise about it. And then since then, once you go through something like that, it almost shifts your destiny in life outside of your own choosing, where if I went through that and I now know enough about it and want to know about it, it became, in my opinion, my responsibility to talk about it as openly as possible. And then if I can get out in the world and talk to people, and whether it's help anybody through it, remind them how severe this is, offer them some words of comfort while they're going through that experience, like, it shifted what my role in life was. Like, I work with dogs, I'll probably always do that. I do sports things always, but like, this now shifted into, well, getting sober, even though I use the term non-reliant. I feel like just the word sober has a lot of baggage with it, but that, like, it became now a part of my life to talk about it and see if there's anybody that I can help through this process. Because something you brought up, Jason, it is so fucking shameful and embarrassing, addiction generally, but this stuff in particular has a different sort of feeling that comes with it, because it masquerades as a fucking wellness tonic, and people are so embarrassed to say that they got addicted to gas station heroin.
Right, there's a certain kind of glamour that comes from saying I was addicted to heroin or addicted to coke.
Yeah, well, there's a huge thing where people don't argue that you weren't addicted to it.
Right.
Like with Kratom, people go, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm like, I didn't. Why would I make it up?
Yeah.